This is Front Talk Podcast. Today is July 26th. Last time I made this podcast was March something. Back still in high school. We graduated now, so it's all good. But yeah, last time I made one was about March, and that's because it's hard to do this by myself. So I got me a beautiful guest today, Payten Wright.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Uh, so yeah, I think you've had an eventful week this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw that you went to the Lion King.
Yes.
Was that good?
10 out of 10 recommend.
All right, bet. Is it anything like the original one, or?
Yeah, it's exactly like the original one.
All right, because I need to go back and watch the original one and then check this one out because I really want to make sure they are identical or
Oh,
something.
yeah. It's the best.
Bet. And then after that, you were like gone sick or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that.
Food poisoning, the best.
Oh my God, that's horrible. So you had a doctor appointment, so that was about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they were just like, "Oh, you'll get over it."
basically.
That's how they always are. That's how they always are. But yeah, we finally graduated high school, so that's a bet. Finally out that hoe.
Thank God.
Yeah, for real. Which I'm gonna miss it in like some ways, but taking tests and shit like that, I'm good.
Yeah, I just miss the social part
Yeah, that's about it.
and the football games. I don't miss the
Well,
work.
Well, I mean, you can go to football games still.
Yeah, but it's just different. Like, you don't have your little hangout groups
Yeah, that's true.
because they're off either working or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it really was back in high school. Like certain people would be gone off to work, and you'd be like, "Well, I mean, who else am I gonna hang out with? Oh, yeah, I got this person. All right, bet." And then that's about it. I mean, that's probably way different for you because you probably got a shit ton of friends.
No. In high school, I stayed basically with my best friend Allison, and that's it.
Yeah, that's how it was too. Like I only had like three good friends in high school, and that's who I just kept with. But I mean, we're kind of here and there half the time, but I don't know. But yeah, finally graduated. I think that was the most stressful time of my life.
Really, senior year?
Yes. Like, I mean, for me it was because I had, what was it? I had English and college algebra. And then next semester I had um, physics. And I was like struggling hard in physics.
I couldn't do that. See, I had all the simple classes.
Yeah, I screwed up and took all my simple classes first, and I don't know why I did that. Because I was on the struggle bench forever in senior year.
They changed a lot after my class, though. Like, a whole lot. Like, y'all didn't have break or anything.
No. we had this thing called see, it's been 2 months and I've already forgot everything. It was basically it was either ACT prep break or you had all your what was it called? See, I'm stupid when it comes to classes and shit. Like what was it? Fuck, I'll remember it later on. But yeah, like you would use it as a study time, and that's all it was. It was just like a big study hall for every class. And my class, we didn't do shit. We were like, all right, first 2 months, we went and did ACT prep, which everyone already took the ACT, and there was only like 5 people taking the ACT out of like 20 people that were in there. So it was like, why?
Yeah, that seems really... I would not have done anything.
Like we didn't because Coach didn't.
Yeah.
He, Coach Gentry, he didn't do shit. He was like, all right, whatever. Like every other coach.
Yeah, none of the coaches at Pontoc care, except for one.
Who?
Coach Sorto, when he was here.
Yeah.
He was probably the only one that actually like cared.
But I mean, what did he coach? Because I know he coached bowling.
It was bowling, and he helped with powerlifting because his daughter was on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember he did bowling for a long time. I was like, are you really a coach when you're coaching bowling?
Yeah, I don't know how you coach bowling. No hate on it, but I don't
I don't know.
understand
I've
it.
been bowling probably 10 times out of my life, and I feel like I'm the greatest at it. But that's just me. I don't know. But yeah, so I saw you brung your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So we about to get into some shit.
Yes. So like I'm really big on conspiracy theories.
Uh
Like
huh.
I'm just open minded about it.
You're like one of those that are like, all right, no, it's either like this, that, or this, or like you have like 10 different things going off at once.
Oh yeah, like
All right.
it's crazy. Now I don't believe the Earth is flat. I'm not like that. I
No.
know we're like that stuff's just crazy. But the stuff about government, like,
Mhm.
is interesting because like the government has to be hiding stuff.
Oh well, yeah.
And like one of my top ones is probably chemtrails. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
It's about basically like planes that fly over. And have you ever like looked up at the sky and seen like multiple straight lines that don't look like clouds?
Mhm.
Like that's basically it. And it's supposedly like the government dropping off stuff into the air to make us like sick, like slowly make us sick. And that's why you see people, even Cardi B believes in this. And that's not saying a lot because it's Cardi B.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting if you like really look into it. But she's like, that's why people in the islands live longer, like up to like 100 and stuff like that, because they don't have this. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I can somewhat believe it, but it'd take a lot. But
There's just so much. And then what's it called? Oh yeah, Illuminati. That's real. Like you probably think I'm insane, but that's real.
all right, what part of it is real?
Like the higher power, like the new order part. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's
Yeah.
like you have to like get into it. Like just me describing it won't do good. But like for example, they say Beyonce is the head of Illuminati and stuff like that. Like the music industry is in the Illuminati.
Yeah, I saw like it was a long time ago, and I watched a video by accident, like on YouTube, going into that rabbit hole of YouTube,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know how, but I got into one of those videos, and it was like talking about how the music industry is like nothing but a scam artist, and it's just like opens up this whole world of like what?
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, if you really get into it, like there's this podcast called Mile Higher and they talk about this stuff and they're so good. It's this couple. But they go more in depth in this stuff. It's crazy. Like
I know, like the JFK conspiracies. Like like me. I don't know. I just feel like it's just one dude and got a lucky shot on him.
yeah.
Like that's just me, because it you're making way too much of it just for one guy to get killed.
Yeah, and that's the thing about conspiracy theories. They take this one event and like they make 10 different like things about it.
Yes.
Like for example, for the JFK, they thought like this guy holding an umbrella shot him. And they actually like made a diagram on it. It was on History Channel. I watched it. And they made like a diagram of how the umbrella would have shot him and it was like but he was on the side and JFK got shot from the front. So like how would that work out?
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't like like I said. They just make way too much of it, and it don't make sense to me. But another here's one that I forgot about last night. Just came to mind. I was watching the Basement Yard, and they were talking about something about the Philadelphia Project,
I think I know what you're talking about.
and it's about this naval ship that they use to like they try to use it as a cloaking device so that the Russians, the Koreans, whoever were against at the time in World War II, they couldn't see us on radar because we're invisible or whatever. And they called whoever's dad, and he was like, "Hey, tell us about this." And he went off. He was like, "All right, so this is what happened. What really happened was da 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 da," and he was just going off. I was like, "Ooh," but
Oh
yeah,
my
look
gosh.
it up because they like it's the Philadelphia Project or the experiment, either or. It sure came up the same way. Um, but I think it's like they shot this thing with a laser and it disappeared and it showed in Philadelphia and it appeared in Virginia and then it disappeared again, showed back up in Philly, and half the or all the crewmates were like or sailors were stuck inside the ship dead, of course, and they were like, "What the hell just happened?"
And this is true?
And that's what they say. They say it's some say it's a hoax, some say it's true. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm reading. They say that the boat teleported to another dimension where it encountered aliens and teleported through time, resulting in deaths of several sailors, some of whom were fused with the ship's hull.
Yeah.
So basically, they traveled through time and saw aliens, which I don't know. That's a reach for me.
Yeah.
Like, I draw a line on some conspiracies.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they were trying to get at. I was like,
But it's interesting. Like,
yeah.
if you're really open minded and just like to, if you're bored and just want to watch something, conspiracy theories are like
Yeah.
where it's at.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. What's another one
Um,
that you're on?
oh, there's so many. Probably, like I said, I'm into the government stuff. So I saw on like Google that, the Area 51 raid that's supposed to happen.
Yes.
They said that was actually set up by the government to make up an excuse to kill, like, there's 1.5 million people signed on to this. And
Yeah,
so
and half of
they're,
them are not really going to go.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're going to have some of them not really go. So they're basically saying that was kind of like a setup to wipe out 1.5 million people. I don't know. But I'm
That's
enjoying the memes of it
yeah, me
on
too.
Instagram.
I'm enjoying it. Now, have you seen the video of the dude that came out that says he's the one that made it?
No.
Oh my god! The, if you see him, you automatically believe, oh yeah, he's one of those people that made this up. Like, and obviously you could tell he's the one that made it up because he was the one that like quoted like, we're gonna outrun their bullets because we can run like Naruto or something like that.
Oh yeah, that I love that. That to me, that's just funny.
Hey, come on! Like sometimes you just gotta stop. If I can find the picture of this dude.
Also, yeah, another like conspiracy theory that I'm into is I forgot what it's exactly called, but it's like you see something on TV from like let's say years ago, and then the event happens. For example, like there's this cartoon that was made in like 1999, and it had like it was like this dog, and he said, "Oh look, the towers are falling." And then in 2000, 9/11 happened. It's like I forgot what it's called, but it's like
Oh,
subliminal messaging. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? I don't know.
Oh, the Simpsons be on that.
I know.
Like it's scary how many times they have predicted something and it actually happened.
Yeah, first they had like the 9/11, which is like a big one, but
Mm-hmm.
and then they had when it's an NFL game. I know the Broncos. It was an NFL Super Bowl game when
Mm-hmm.
Broncos they predicted the exact score. I don't know who's creating the Simpsons, but
I'm sure. I'm sure they've been asked like a million times, like, "Yo, like, how are you like predicting all this stuff?" And they're just like, "I'm not gonna give you any attention just because like it's a waste of my time trying to like explain to you how I'm doing this, but like you wouldn't believe me if I did tell you like we're just making this up." But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't.
uh, I don't know.
But the conspiracy theories about like the Earth is flat is so funny to me.
Oh man, those are funny. Those are funny because it's just unbelievable. Like we got people in space right now that can tell you otherwise.
Yeah, like satellites and stuff. Like I watched this video last night, and it was like this Japanese satellite takes pictures of the Earth like 24/7 and uploads it every 10 minutes to this website, and you can like go and look at it.
Wow. Have you seen the documentary on Netflix about the flat Earth?
Uh-uh.
No. I
Surprisingly.
like I got 10, 20 minutes into it. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me because these people are talking too much. And yeah, I wasn't into that documentary, but I think you would be into it.
Probably just to see like different sides of it, but I
But
don't believe in flat
well, I
Earth.
mean, all right, this is one thing they were trying to convince people of, and it did not make sense. I think they're in some city in California. I think it was like San Francisco and Sacramento and somewhere. I don't know. And he was trying to make his point like, all right, that city is about 11 miles from this city. So why is it that you can't see a curve in between the two cities? I was like, are you serious, dog?
Yeah.
It's 11 miles. Do you really know how wide the Earth is? It's like 24,000 miles
Yeah.
wide. There ain't gonna be a curvature for 11 miles, dog. It's gonna be like, hey, 100 miles. There's gonna be a curve.
Yeah. Even at the beach and you're looking out at the ocean, you can see where it curves.
Yeah, like, yo, you're thinking way too hard on this, dog, and way too hard. There's no way that you can just be like, 11 miles. Shouldn't there not like be like a 1 degree thing right there?
Yeah.
Like, no, no, not really. You can try, but you ain't going to.
Yeah. People are. I don't know.
They out there, and like there was another experiment they were trying to do. I don't really remember what it was about, but they were like trying to like get where the sun, like they had a hole in like this piece of paper, set it on like something, and they're gonna try to like show how the earth or the sun revolves around Earth, and they're gonna show like where it does this. I was like, what? And it didn't work obviously because it just went one side to the other side and it went sunset,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. And I was like, what'd you try to prove there?
Yeah, and then when the first like flat earth theory came out like a year ago and it got really big on Instagram, there's this dude, he had like a ball, like a bouncy ball, and he set it on the ground and he's like, if the earth is round, how come it doesn't roll? And I was like, it's gravity. Like, it's gravity that holds it down, you know, because his point was trying to be like the earth is flat if it just stays down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's entertaining at the most.
It is. It's just like, oh, stop trying too hard. And then have you seen the dude that tried to create his own rocket?
No.
Oh my God, that was big on Instagram too, or Twitter, whichever. Like, they were like this serious. They're like, we're gonna show you that the Earth is flat, and tried to build their own rocket. He was gonna shoot himself into space and show everyone that the Earth was flat, and it didn't get even probably a mile off the ground, and it didn't work out for him.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh, stop trying to prove this unproven point that you're trying to prove but can't prove. Like, I don't know. It's just too much for me.
Yeah, there's so much to like say about that stuff.
You ain't kidding.
But did you hear about like that sex trafficking ring that got busted in Pontotoc?
Mm-mm.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
It was these two guys and a young woman, and they either worked at Sonic or like another fast food like chain in Pontotoc, and they were like trying to get girls for like sex trafficking. Yeah, it was busted in town not too long ago, like probably about 3 weeks ago.
Wow, I didn't know. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it was. It didn't make major news. It was more like Facebook news, but it was on like WTVA.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
my mom was like, "Be careful!" Like she was freaking out for like a week straight.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know. I didn't hear about that. Which I don't hear anything because look where I live.
Yeah.
Like I live closer to Tupelo than I do Pontotoc, so I have no reason to go to Pontotoc. But still, you would think I would hear about that, being that it's Pontotoc and whatever. But
Yeah, but yeah, um, like how they do it is like they get a girl to lure other young girls in.
mm-hmm.
So like, let's say she'll probably be like, "Hey, let's be friends, get their number, and hang out with them for a couple of days." And then like, when it's time, like as like bad as it sounds, like they snatch them up. Like they literally like snatch them up, and after that, you're like a goner because like sex trafficking is like a whole nother subject, but it's huge.
Wow, that's crazy how they just get someone else to do it for them.
Yeah, and the thing is, mostly sometimes the people that lure them in are a victim of sex trafficking it's themselves. So like they're promised to like, hey, if you get this girl, we'll set you free as long as you don't say anything.
Oh, that's a lie.
Yeah,
That's a huge lie.
it's I like more crime stuff anyway, but it's huge.
Yeah, that's beyond me. Like I couldn't comprehend how any of that works.
No, yeah.
That's just crazy. So you're going to college for EMT?
Well, I actually changed my major to criminal justice so I can become a police officer.
Hey, that's a lit.
Yeah.
So what made you change?
Well, my first year I enjoyed the classes, but my second semester my advisor in college before like maybe a month and a half before school ends, they're like talk to your advisor about classes because, if you don't take online classes and go to the school, like I commute, so I go to the Tupelo campus. So you have to make like a schedule to get a seat in that class or else it gets filled up. So I was like trying to contact my advisor the whole time and she wouldn't answer. And finally I had to go to like a add-in advisor, which is like you just go to them if nothing's working out.
Mm-hmm.
And so they set me up with a bunch of like messed up classes. Like for example, on Mondays I'd have classes from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. So like Mondays were so long and I didn't enjoy my second semester because they put me in a hybrid class also, which is like half online and half in class, which is awful. I don't suggest it. And so like, and then my granddad died second semester, and then like I honestly like just quit, and I didn't enjoy it as much. And I always told my mom like my backup plan is like to be a police officer, and so I switched it this year, and yeah.
Hey, bet. So what did you want to be originally? Did you want to be EMT or
Yeah, a paramedic.
or you just want to like be, all right, well, if this don't work, I'll be a cop.
Yeah, like all through high school, I always told like my mom, I was like, okay, like it's either a police officer or a paramedic, but I can't choose. Like, I can't make a decision. So, finally, after like last semester, I was like, yeah, I think I want to be a police officer because I'm more into like criminal stuff anyway than like medical. So,
Because which do you catch yourself watching more, like medical TV shows or cop TV shows?
oh, cop, like Law and Order, SVU,
Yeah,
Chicago PD, everything.
yeah, yeah. Like for me, being a cop, especially these days, would be so hard to just do, just because of social media
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything like that. I'm like, yeah, screw that.
That's,
And I mean, if you can handle it, you can handle it. But I mean, for me, I can't.
yeah, I was either thinking about, because like it's not, there's different like positions. Like you can be just like regular, you can be in canine unit, you can be narcotics, you can be bomb squad. There's a lot that you can be in. And I either want to be in narcotics or canine unit.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
my uncle, he was a cop for 25 years. He originally he went to narcotics, so for the longest time he was a narcotic agent, and then I think 6 years after the, or he was there for a long time, and then I think the last 6 or 7 years of him being a cop, he was like, all right, I want to do something a little bit different. So he joined the SWAT team, and then soon enough he became captain of the SWAT team. I mean, and then about 2 years ago he retired from it because he was like, yeah, no, I have enough of this.
Yeah, it's a very intense job, but
And it pissed me off because when he retired, I got my license. I was like, really? You're going to retire right when I get my license so I can't get out tickets?
yeah,
Come on, dog.
yeah, I have my fair share of tickets.
I try not to. I try not to.
I'm tired. Like, I drive to the pace of my music. So, like, if I'm listening to, like, really fast music, I'm, like, zooming through town.
Oh,
And, like, I
God.
got pulled over for doing, like, 50 into, like, a 35.
Golly.
Yeah, and some Pontoc cops aren't that nice.
That's why I don't go to Pontoc. I know about them. I don't do it. If it ain't Buck, then I don't know him.
Yeah, I love Buck. Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
my God. Buck is something else.
He's my favorite.
Buck is something else.
But what are you wanting to go to college for?
Um, I don't think college is for me, to be honest. Just because, like, one, I didn't do that great on my ACT, and then I don't know, like, just going back to school just to have loans and shit and to pay that out for almost the rest of your life is, I don't know. But if I was to go for anything, like just recently, I'm trying to be an athletic trainer, but I don't think that's gonna be for me too because you gotta take psychology, you gotta take all these medical classes and shit, and even if you get a job as an athletic trainer, say at Ole Miss or whatever, you would have to go to every single game, and you're gonna have to like help out with every single athlete that gets hurt, whether it's basketball, football, baseball,
Cheerleading,
volleyball,
like,
cheerleading. It's everything, and like I think that would just be stressful alone, and I don't know. But right now, I got my eyes set on going to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I want to go. I'm aiming for Gulf Shores, and going to try to be a beach attendant down there.
What's that?
Like the people that set up the umbrellas,
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now. And I got my eyes set on 2 different companies right now. So I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna apply for the one I really want because they pay the most. Which is that's not really saying much because they only get paid minimum wage, but this one's like barely just a little. So I'm setting on going there. If they don't call me back, I'll go to a different one and see how it is. Some people have been trying to tell me, "Oh, you should go to Destin." I'm like, Yeah, but it's like way more expensive. Like, I ain't got time and the money to do that.
Yeah, and Florida always gets hit with hurricanes. I mean,
I mean,
so does
true.
Gulf Shores, but like Florida gets the front of it
Yeah,
always.
I mean, that's true. But I mean, I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Which I mean, anywhere on the coast is gonna get hit with hurricanes, no matter what. I mean, yeah, Florida's gonna get hit a lot more than Gulf Shores, New Orleans, or Houston, but I mean, we can still get it
Yeah.
no matter what. So, uh, I mean, I'm willing to take that risk because really, hurricanes don't happen that much. It's not like tornadoes here or
Oh,
like shit like that. And plus, when like a rainstorm comes through, it's literally 10 minutes and done because it goes into the ocean and just dissipates.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm good on that.
Have you seen that movie Twister?
How old is it?
It like came out early 2000s.
I think so. I think
Anyway,
so.
talking about tornadoes like reminded me of that, but I love that movie. It's so good.
Yeah, I think what was it a guy like in a red Dodge chasing down his tornado?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that movie.
It's so good.
It's like I remember bits and pieces of it, but I can't like get the whole movie wrapped around. But yeah, I do remember that movie. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. Um, if I don't get that job, I might be a dockhand somewhere. And if I don't get that job, I'll just be a waiter somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, screw it. I don't want to be here. Plus, one of my one of my reasons is because I don't want to work with my dad anymore. Because I'm tired of mowing yards. I can go off all day, every day about mowing the yards, and I'm so sick and tired of it. And I cannot stand the people. They're like, oh my God, I love mowing yards. I'm like, well, you never worked mowing yards then.
Yeah.
You never got paid to do it. You just do it for the fun of mowing your own yard. I got to mow my own yard plus 20 other people's yards.
I couldn't do that.
Oh my God, it's so annoying. And I get underpaid. That's another reason. Like, I know it's just my dad, but he's underpaying me. Like, I'm only getting $10 per yard, which might sound like a lot right now, but say we only got 20 yards, that's only $200,
Yeah.
and we're only doing it once a week, so that's 200 a week, and then you gotta keep going. That's a whole month. I'm only getting 600 for someone that works probably 5 days a week and probably gets minimum wage. They would probably get 400, 500 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me.
My neighbor mows yards. Bobby Watts.
What?
Anna Crane Watts' dad.
Okay, yeah.
He mows yards around where I am.
Yeah, no. Which we got yards in West Tupelo, East Tupelo, Guntown, Saltillo. It's everywhere. I'm just like, I'm done with this. Because I'm tired of smelling like shit, feeling like shit, looking like shit every single time I come back in. And it's just like, I'm done.
Especially how hot this summer has been. Jesus.
Oh, like 2 weeks ago, I thought I was going to have a heat stroke.
Yeah.
And I was like wearing barely anything. And I'm carrying a 20-pound blower on my back, just trying to like make sure these people are happy with their yard. I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. I don't have the patience to deal with people like that. Nope.
And like what annoys me more is when either the customer or my dad is staring at me every single time. It's just like, dog, do you have something better else to do besides stare at me? Like, I'm trying to do my job. Like, go away. I'm trying to concentrate here, and you're distracting me. And that's one annoying thing. Plus, like, every time my dad comes around with the weed eater, he'll kick up a bunch of rocks and hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I can just get off this mower right now.
Yeah. No, what kind of y'all have like a zero turn? Oh, okay. Yeah.
We have 2 0 turns. One, like, you know how it throws all the shit away?
Yeah.
Well, we got one that's blocked all that off, and it's called a mulch kit. And it just contains all that shit right there and doesn't go anywhere. Besides, in front of me,
Oh.
and it's nothing but dust and all that, just hitting me right in the face every time I go straight. And I'm like, I, I will go and take the screws off that thing right now and just make it a full thing where it shoots. And and he'll get mad at me because it clusters up a bunch of grass and just leaves it there as a pile. And he'll get mad at me for leaving it there. I'm like, it's not my fault that the mower won't like even that out.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stop being mad at me for something that I can't control. You're the one on the mower that throws the shit. Come on, help me. And he'll just get so pissed. I'm like, and like the whole time I'm on the mower, I'm just like thinking of arguments. Like, you know how you do in the shower?
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking about arguments. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. I'm like, every time I'm on the mower, I quit. In my mind, of course, I don't quit in front of
Oh
him.
yeah.
Or else he'll get super pissed, and then I have to deal with ear. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good on that.
I practice my arguments all the time. Do I say them? No.
Well, of course not. It's either after the fact or like beforehand, and you're just not one to like make something up about it.
Yeah. But I'm the type of person though, if I'm mad about something, like for example, like work, I will not let it go. Like I like for the rest of the day, I'll just sit and think about it, which is probably not good, but
Yeah, I do the same thing all the time. Like a couple weeks ago, Memorial Day weekend, uh, a group of my friends went on their senior trip, which I thought we were like close. I thought we were like bonded, like whatever. And they just went on a senior trip by themselves to like Gatlinburg. I was like, well, at least it would have been nice if you like at least invited me.
yeah.
And he was like, well, I mean, we didn't, it was a last second thing. We didn't know. Like, I was like, but still, you could have at least invited me. And like that set me off right there. And like I was coming up with so many arguments in my head, like, dog, y'all so fake, y'all so this, da da da. And I just went off in my head. And then he came back to me and he was like, dude, I'm so sorry. I mean, I wish we could have, but we couldn't. I hope we can hang out sometime. I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
I'm just crying in my head, like, all right.
That's why I keep my friend group small.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because like the thing with people in general, like not everybody of course, but like when certain people get with other people, they change and they just go with them, which I can't stand. Like if you're going to be one way, be it like with everybody. Don't change just because you're with a certain group of people. Like that's bringing me back to high school, like cliques and stuff. I never understood that. Because like if you see everybody now that we went to high school with, like none of that popularity or whatever mattered, you know?
Yeah, for real.
Like I never understood that about high school until I was like out.
Yeah.
I realized I was like, well, like damn, like it really is like that. Like but none of it matters. Like once you go to college, nobody cares. Like
Right.
nobody cares.
Unless you're an athlete.
Yeah, and that's it. But like at like even there, like I have a friend, she's going to play ICC soccer, and she was like, even there, like your teammates aren't even your friends sometimes. And I was like, you know,
Well, I mean that's the case because like you haven't seen each other for the past 12 years. Because when you go to school with someone for 12 years, you're eventually going to have to become friends with them one way or another, or just fucking despise them. That's another thing. Like you could do that, But I mean, yeah, college is gonna be totally different because you haven't grown up with the person
Yeah.
that you were with, unless they just go to the same college as you. But yeah, I, yeah, you got a point there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Cause I'm always been me, shy, insecure,
Yeah.
like I don't want to hang unless I like really know you or whatever. Like I've always been like that. I don't think I've ever really changed because I'm don't do shit now.
Yeah.
So I mean I haven't changed, but I've seen a lot of people change, and it's just like whoa, dog,
Yeah.
chill out. You ain't the same no more.
Yeah.
You
I
ain't the
don't
same. It's stupid.
like after high school, people either grow up or just like stay the same in that same high school like drama. Because I actually, you know, Piggly Wiggly. Oh my God, you know the people that work there, like high school people, and some of them like Michaela Steele, Kelsey Bard, and like Braden Warren. All of them are cool, but like the high school people are awful.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing because I actually wanted to work there while I was in high school, but then I heard like it's like so judgmental there because it's such a small like little store.
It's ran by nothing but high schoolers.
Yeah, like
It's literally just ran by them.
it's just
Which half this town is ran by a high school.
yeah, and like to get a job in Pontotoc, you have to know certain people. Like for example, if I wanted to work at like True Blue, which I will never because I never wear that stuff, but
Yeah.
if I wanted to work there, I would have to know somebody to get a word in for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all politics by the end of the day.
Yeah, and cliquish.
Yeah. That's all it is. Like, if you know someone that can get you in, then you're all good. But if you don't, like I don't know many people, but I mean, I'm screwed if I want to try to get in somewhere like that. It wouldn't happen. But whatever. I don't know.
But high school, like when you said you wish you would go back to high school, like high school was hell for me though, because like I was bullied. Yeah, yeah, that shocks people when I say it, like that I was bullied. But yeah, life like high school was hell for me.
Damn. Like I don't say I was, but I mean like there was those days where like a jackass would come through and like ruin your day. But I wouldn't like take that shit to heart though. Like I never did and never will. Like I don't hate anyone. There's some people I just like really dog. Like you made my life kind of hell for me for that one day, but like I don't hold it back on them.
Yeah.
I really don't. But yeah, that kind of like shocks me about you because you're like I'm friends with everyone. Or
Yeah.
so what it seems like to me.
Yeah, like I'm a people person. Like I would like go up to anybody and like say hey and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like towards the end of sophomore and junior year, like that was awful. Like every day I was bullied, like to the point where I was going to the bathroom and crying. Yeah, like nobody knows that except for like my mom and Allison. But I hated it. Like it got to a point where I wanted to move to South, but the only thing that kept me in Pontotoc was volleyball. Is that I
Wow.
kept playing volleyball.
That's crazy to me. I would never thought that in a million years.
Yeah, I'm the type of person, I don't tell people my problems.
Same.
So, like, I don't air it out, oh, I'm being bullied. Like, you know, like, I'm a very personal person. So, like, nobody knew that.
That's wild. I would never thought that. And I feel like I got an idea of who would, because I'm assuming it'd be like your class.
Yeah,
People in your
it was
class.
a person, it was a girl in my class. And, like, the thing that, like, I didn't understand was, like, we grew up together. We went to daycare together. We went all through middle school and junior high together. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, sophomore and junior year, like, she flipped a switch and was, like, hateful. I'm talking about the most hateful person I've ever seen. And,
Which half of them are kind of really judgy
Yeah.
anyway.
And like misery loves company. So I told my mom finally, and she was like, she was like, Payten, because I went to the principal, I went to Mr. Henry, and like they didn't do anything because she was like one of the star athletes of Pontoc. And they didn't do anything. They basically just sat us down and was like, hey, you need to stop, basically. Nothing changed. And so I told my mom, and she's like, look, people that make your life hell or just want you to be miserable are 9 times out of 10 miserable themselves. And she's like, so don't hate them. She's like, don't feel bad for them, but she's like, they might have stuff going on that you don't know about that are making them like bully you and stuff like that. And like that kind of put something in my head, but then I was like, people come from crappy situations all the time and like they don't do that. So
Yeah.
I think it's just how you like become a person and grow and choose how to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, like I say again, like I wasn't really bullied my whole life. I mean, of course, there was sometimes, yeah, but like at the end of the day, I just lived life and did whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, But yeah, the principal, the counselors, all of them, they on some bullshit over there.
Yeah. Kelsey Cruz was probably my favorite counselor.
Yeah.
And Blair, Blair, the tall one, I called her Rusty. I don't know, because her voice was like, because she smokes.
Yeah.
And we called her Rusty, but I like them too. They were, and
Yeah.
Miss Cruz went to the junior high with my mom, so I actually like that.
Do you not like Roe?
She helped me actually a lot through my anxiety attacks, but senior year, like, I really didn't really get to do anything, like talk to her or anything. She was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I like Roe. She's cool. Which I mean, she's the only one I talk to like school wise and just anything. Because like the first week of senior year, my truck broke down. I was there like I left at 11 o'clock, and I was there after school was done. I was like, fuck, I don't want to be here.
God.
And then I just went up to the counselor's office and I was like, hey, my truck broke down. I was like, I got away from my dad. He was, and like probably like 10 minutes later, he came through. But I was like, yeah, I was there for like 10 minutes, or not 10 minutes, all day. And it got so annoying because we figured out it was a starter because it just went out. So we went to AutoZone, came back, didn't work. So we went back to AutoZone, got back our original one, went to some like redneck shop that's there, and got them to work on it. Went back to the school, tried to put it back in. It finally worked, and after that, it was probably like 4 o'clock. I was like, God, I don't want. This sucks. And it was on a Friday too.
Oh.
Like first week it was Friday. I wanted to get out, and it's like, it's so embarrassing when your truck won't start in the senior parking lot. I'm like,
See,
this sucks.
I never had that problem, luckily, with my car. But then when I got to college, everything just went downhill. I hit a deer on my way back from school, and then it was awful. Like, but I really like college. When they say college is different than high school, like I was like, oh, whatever, you're just bullshitting. You're just trying to make me feel better. But it really is. Like I enjoy college now.
That's a bit.
But
Yeah, speaking about hitting deer, I think it was like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I was coming back from church of all places, and I was going. It was on Longview Baptist,
yeah,
and I was coming to Trey State Park, going there and going through all that, and I was probably going 60 on this 40-mile-per-hour road.
oh god,
And out of nowhere, I see 2 dots, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I just hit the brakes, and I have a single cab out there, so of course my side seat just comes flying up. Everything that's in there just flies to the front, and like I come probably about a table width from this deer,
Oh God.
and I was like, shit. And he didn't move until
Yeah,
I
that's
like fully stopped, and he was like, "Oh, what's up, dog?" And just ran with like all of his boys, and it was like, "Ha ha, screw you!" And like, oh, I was like, "Oh God!" And that's probably like the only time that's ever happened. Um, but yeah, that scared the hell out of me. And it's like when my side seat just comes flying up, like everything's just moving around me, and I feel like I locked up my brakes. Like, yeah, that shit scared me,
Yeah.
especially like at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I was coming home from the 4 lane on this. I forgot what it's called. I don't know what highway it is, but it's 4 lane, and I was going, 70. I mean, I always go like 5-10 miles over the speed limit if I'm on the 4 lane. And there was this car that was like riding my ass, and like I saw 2 deer. I was like, it was a little buck and a doe, and I saw them cross, and I was like, I knew, like I had a gut feeling they were gonna cross again. Why, I don't know, but they crossed again, and I couldn't slam on my brakes, or else this girl would like eat my like back end. Which honestly, thinking about it now, I probably should have, because it would have been her fault for telling me, but I didn't. So I just kept going and hit the deer at like 70 miles per hour. It was awful. It like tore my car up.
That's awful. That ain't good. All right, I got actually two questions. I might as well just hit them both at the same time. All right, $10 million right now,
Okay.
but there's a snail that chases you no matter what. Have you ever seen It Follows?
Yeah.
It's basically that. It's basically that, but it's a snail.
It's a snail.
Yeah. So it's gonna constantly follow you. It knows where you're at all the time, and you can't stop it. I mean, you can try, but you ain't gonna stop it. And if it touches you, it kills you. Horrific death. You taking the 10 million?
Heck yeah, and I'll name it Gary. I'll just keep my eye out for it all the time.
Shit,
$10 million, you can do a lot with $10 million.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I'll be taking trips everywhere. Like, you can probably take. Like, I'll go to New York, spend a couple months there, and it'd probably still be in like, I don't know, South Carolina somewhere by that time, and then go to California, check that out, which I don't really care for California anymore.
Really?
Yeah, just because of all the politics that's happened, but that's besides the point. Then I'd probably like go to like Europe and then Asia, wherever.
I go to Hawaii.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hawaii is like one of my number one spots to go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like buy a villa somewhere in Hawaii, buy a place down in Florida, like buy another villa in like the Caribbean somewhere.
Yeah, just fly everywhere.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, you can do a lot with 10 million. So yeah, I'd take a snail chasing me for $10 million.
Yeah, yes. But another question, for 20 million, it gets faster every year. You taking the 20 million for it just to get a little bit faster every year? Because eventually it's going to be able to chase you, like hunt you down.
The thing is, like, the snail starting rate, though,
Yeah.
is like really slow. So I might take my chances. I'm not sure.
I mean, it gets just a little bit faster every year.
Then yeah, I'd take the 20 million, because by the time it probably gets me, I'd already enjoyed everything.
Yeah, probably. All right, so the other question is, all right, at birth, you're given two choices: a penny a year doubled, or $1,000 a week, and you can't touch the money until you're 18. Which one are you taking?
Probably $1,000 a week. I'm not great at math, so I can't do that penny crap. So $1,000 sounds a lot better to me.
Yeah. I did the math on it, and I can't remember the exact numbers. I really don't feel like doing it, but I can do the math on it. So by the time I think by the time you're 30, you got 5 mil in the bank, but that's just at 30. But like by the time you're 40, you probably have like over mm, some $1 billion in your bank.
Then I might take the penny.
But I mean, my thing is like by that point, you have so much money that you don't even know what to do with. If I take the $1,000 a week personally, because I think by the time you're 18, I think it comes out to like $100,000 or something like that. I can't think. My computer's gone low. Damn, it was like at 90 when we started. Now I'm at 11. Let me get my charger. Yeah, do the math on that.
Okay. I gotta search up how many weeks are in a year. 52 weeks in a year? So 52 times 1,000. So it's like 52,000 in a year times 18 equals, you'll have close to $1 million. So $936,000.
Yeah. So I mean, if you continue that throughout life, I mean, you're living comfortably.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
So I'd probably take that.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, like when you get the penny double thing, it's like you have so much money you don't really know what to do with, and then by that point you're like oh well, the rest of my family's gonna like be living comfortably all their life.
Yeah.
Like they have nothing to do. But I mean I don't know. I mean me personally, I just take the 1,000 just to live good and don't have to do shit. It's just me.
That's what I do too.
Oh yeah, this week's been something different. Because what was it? Because all this week I've had to work, and thank God it's been like what 80 degrees this whole week.
Yeah, it's been pretty decent.
Yeah, thank God. And then yesterday was my aunt's 50th birthday, big 50. So we went to the casa on right next to the hospital, which that one I don't really like. It's not that great. Because the one on Main Street, because we know like 3 of the waiters there that we have became good friends. Like we would do whatever with them by this point. And I was texting one of them. I was like, hey, my aunt's birthday, she's going to have it at the casa. We were like wanting y'all to like serve us so y'all like wouldn't have a hard time with this party. And they were like, all right, bet. And then the next day, I come to the little popper and my mom's there, and she so I was like, hey, I text Skylar and I was like telling her like, hey, we're gonna go to the casa tonight and whatever. And she was like, well, that'd been nice if we're going to that the casa, but we ain't going to that one. I was like, so you mean I gotta like tell her that we're not going to that one? He was like, yeah, you kind of like gotta do that now. I was like, oh shit.
Oh Lord.
So I had to text her. I was like, hey, sorry, but we're not going to your DeCasa. We're going to the hospital DeCasa. That sucks. So, see you next week.
Oh Lord.
It's like, I was like, come on. Like, why'd y'all pick the sucky DeCasa? And the reason why is because my aunt works real close. She works in cardiology. So she's like right there at that DeCasa. So she was like thinking about like, yeah, I'm just gonna like get off work and just go there. And that's what she decided to do. And I was like, But why though? We got hookups.
Yeah, I'd go to a place where I'd have hookups.
Yeah, for real. We've told them. We kept on telling them like, "Hey, other one, let's go." And they were just like, "Nah, we'd much rather just go to the one that's closest." And I was like, "Y'all stupid though. Y'all are so stupid." I don't know. They wouldn't listen to us because like the people we're good with. I mean, we've asked. I'm pretty sure we've asked this dude for a margarita like 50 times by this point. Oh hell, not even 50 because we go every single week, and it's been for the past like 3 years. Yeah. So I mean, we probably asked him for a margarita like a good 3,000 times by this point, and he knows how to fucking hook it up. Like he's like, all right, we're gonna take about 4 shots of tequila in here, and then we're gonna pour some other shit. And he's like, yeah, you gonna get the good shit here.
Did you drink the margarita?
No, I can't. I'm their DD half the time. No, all the time.
I went to Chili's, and a girl that was in our band, in the band that I knew, she graduated like 2 years before me, and I was just messing around. I was like, "Can I get a blueberry like margarita?" She's like, "Sure." Didn't even ID me, and I was like 18. And you know, at Chili's, like they're like, "Okay, rate your service," and I think that's part of the reason why, because like, I can't say her name because I don't want to get in trouble, but anyways, she gave me the blueberry margarita. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's so good.
Yeah, and then we've gotten so used to what he's made for us that if anyone else tries to make it, we're like, nah, screw this. We need Caesar. Come here.
Yeah, Caesar.
Come here. And so he's the one that only makes our margaritas. Like, even if we have another waiter, uh, we always find Caesar somewhere, and we're like, hey, hook us up. And then one time, I think it was like probably a month ago, my dad asked for, hey, it's been a long week, I need something good. And he should not said that because the shit we already get on a regular basis is strong enough. And he was like, all right, you don't want 4. Okay, I got you. Puts in like 6 or 7 more.
Oh my
like,
God.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, golly, dog. Like,
And tequila.
oh my God. Yeah, yesterday she got a birthday tequila. And it came like in a wine glass. I don't know why. But it came in a wine glass. And she was like, oh my God, it's wine. And we were like, no, it's not.
No.
That ain't wine. Take a good sniff of it. It's not wine. And she was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. So my sister Hillary, she got it and she was like, like just about to like puke. And she was like, anyone else wants this? And like just giving it to the rest of the family. And then my little cousin, which is my aunt's daughter, she's like 12. And Hillary was like, hey, take this right quick. She basically just set her up just to like get oh shit, wasn't the word I'm looking for. Fuck. Why am I going blank right now? Just to get some emotion from her, I guess. And she was like, hey, Lucy, I see you drinking my drink over there. And my aunt just turns her head real quick and was like, Lucy. And like,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you know, this is just a setup, right? Like, you don't get mad at her. But yeah, and then, you know how they do the pieing or whatever? Well, she thought it was going to be this one guy that was like smiling real hard. And they all had napkins, so you couldn't tell which one was going to be. And the one dude that was just straight faced the whole time just comes out behind her and just, not
They
really.
are like aggressive with it though.
No, they didn't really like smack her, but they got her good. I was like, dang. She thought it was going to be this one guy, and it did not become that one guy.
Yeah, I went to a Mexican restaurant by Huddle House, and they pied me, and it got all in my nose and everything. It was aggressive pieing, which
I'm
is
sure.
fun, but
They don't know any better.
no, it's funny.
No, but yeah, I'm gonna be. Are you an aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be an uncle soon, and I'm excited.
Yeah, mine isn't like blood related, but like because my brother is dating this girl, which they're pretty serious. They're thinking about getting married like at the end of this year, but they have a little boy, Cohen, and I'm not a kid person, but I like he's probably like the best kid ever.
Wait, you're not a kid person, but you applied to be at a daycare.
Okay, look, a job is a job. And
True,
like the
but I
thing
mean,
is about kids is the type of kids that I don't like are the ones that you find running around that have like no reason. You know what I'm talking about? It's probably very judgmental of me, but the ones
very hyper ones.
yeah, like I know I was a hyper kid, but like some kids just I don't know. Like I babysat one time and this is a little story. This is what kind of made me like be like, "Oh, okay, kids can be like really crazy." But I was babysitting and they were two sisters. One was like 3 and then the other one was like 9 or 10. And so the 10-year-old, they were like, "Oh, we want cinnamon rolls." And I was like, "Okay, I'll make you some." And so, I put them in the oven and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, like the knife that I used to cut open the stuff, it wasn't there. And I was like looking around. I was like, "What the heck?" The 10-year-old was chasing the little 3-year-old around, terrorizing her because she liked to scare her. And I was like I put it on the counter where they couldn't get it, but she was like sneaky and snuck up and like they were chasing each other. It was just a nightmare.
Oh my god. Yeah, see, I couldn't deal with that. I'm not. I don't know where my mom gets this, but she thinks I'm a kid person, and I am absolutely not. I cannot stand kids. I just like every time I'm around one, I want to go straight to like a bar somewhere where they can't be. Like I cannot stand it. But I like honestly, I think when my nephew comes, I'm going to be just because it's like that's my brother's kid, and like wow,
And it's different with family. Like
yeah,
it's a lot different.
yeah, it is. But yeah, like one of my friends, she's in college, and she didn't have a job for the longest time, and she finally got a job at this daycare. I think at some Baptist church. I don't know where it's at, but she, I think it was like Memorial Day or 4th of July weekend. We're up at the lake, and she was telling us like how bad it is up there, and like she was basically like, yeah, like I had to get like rubber gloves and clean these kids every single day, and I got to make sure that they're all good throughout the day. And it's just like, yo, how about you just quit?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Why would you want clean shit all day, every day? From like 3 and 4 year olds.
I want to work in like the after school one. So they're older, like they're like 4. I mean they're older, so they actually kind of know better and they can talk.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm not good. Like Cohen will want like he'll be like give me my sippy, and I'm like what? Like I don't understand him, so I want kids that can actually like talk.
Yeah. Like you could go to like when I was in kindergarten, first, second, I went to this one daycare. Um, it was called Casa, but that's where I went all my life up until like I moved to Pontoc. And I mean that's probably somewhere you'd probably want to go because I mean it's nothing but like 6, 7,
Yeah.
8 year olds. So I mean they know a lot better, but I mean still it's kind of horrific because it's still kids.
Yeah, they're like I don't know. But the reason why I like applied at this daycare is because it'll work good around my schedule, my school schedule.
Yeah.
Because like not a lot of places are willing to work around that. So that's the only down part about college is like because I don't like I worked at Domino's while I was at my first semester, and I hated it because like the hours they put me on were like from 4 o'clock after I got out of school to like 11 o'clock at night. And I had no time for schoolwork. So, like, that's why at the daycare, I'll get there, have a set time, and I'll leave around like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So,
Dang. So what'd you do during Domino's?
I delivered pizza, and I'm talking about they are the worst people to deliver for. Because, first of all, with Domino's, not a lot of people know this, but with Domino's, we can't take bills higher than $20 bill, because it can be counterfeited, or like, let's say if we get robbed, like on a delivery, people are going to be like, oh, this is a good quick like thing to do and start robbing us. And
I mean, I get it. I mean, it's for y'all's own protection, but
yeah, and so I went on this one delivery, and he ordered like $60 worth of pizza, and he tried to pay with like $100 bill, and I was like, look, it's against policy to like take this. Do you have like 20s or something? Because I mean, he didn't pay online, so it's cash, or you don't get the pizza. And he was like, what the hell is like up with this, and started cussing me out like it's my fault. I've had money thrown at me like on the ground. I've had people cuss at me. It's awful.
yeah, screw that. That's not worth trying to just get bills paid.
Yeah, and like
it's not worth that.
like and you would I hate to say this, but like on some deliveries, especially on the weekend after like people get their like social security checks and stuff, I went to this one house. I have so many stories about Domino's, but I went to this one house, and this dude was like wigging out on like drugs. It was bad. Like, it was actually, that was like the one time I was like actually scared, because we can't carry anything. We can't carry pepper spray or nothing, because that counts as a weapon. So
Screw
basically,
that.
we just like go in our car and like go to this random person's house and deliver pizza. And like this dude was like, it was like a crack house. It was a trap house. It was like a literal trap house. And then you have some people that are like, oh, will you deliver this like weed for us? And I was like, no, dude, like I can't do that. Like I'm like it's crazy. Like,
Oh man.
no. Domino's is wild. Or the people in Pontoc are wild.
Yeah, that's
And I couldn't imagine working at Domino's in like Tupelo or somewhere bigger than Pontoc, like Oxford or something.
yeah. Screw that. There wouldn't be no way I could do that. Like I thought, like for a minute, like earlier this year, I was thinking about becoming a what is it? It's like Uber.
Yeah.
Uber Eats, Postmates. I'm trying to think of the other one, but I was gonna go
Like
to it.
Lyft and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be like the food one.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about like doing that. But then I really like thought about it. I was like, if I don't have any protection for my own self, then why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I need protection, and two, I don't know who I'm going up to deliver this food.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like with Domino's, like they were like, the only safety precaution they take is like a follow-up call. And like none of us did that, because like who wants to call again and be like, okay, are you the one with the pizza? Like, like, which is bad on my part, but like even if it was somebody that was like sketchy, they'd be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, either way, people are going to go around like all that stuff. So I don't know. Like that was probably the sketchiest job, especially because like Domino's stays open extremely late.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not worth doing. But yeah, like, and like even like the Uber and the Lyft, like that's sketchy too. I mean, even though you gotta have an account with them, and so everything that you have like that's private about you is out there now.
Yeah.
With them, because I'm pretty sure you gotta have your social security, you gotta have your card on there, and like everything else, like I'm pretty sure you gotta have all that. and if you like try to like rob an Uber, you're like fucked.
Yeah.
Like I could just easily just lock the doors and be like, well, where you going? And like you ain't gonna go anywhere. But I don't know. It's still sketchy. I wouldn't. Like I thought about doing it, but then I was like, yeah, nah, because it doesn't appeal to me like safety wise.
Yeah.
Like someone coming into your car and you don't know them, you have no protection on you unless you're like you got a gun on you or whatever. But other than that, I mean, it's sketch.
Yeah, and it's also like sketchy on like the what are they called? The people that order the Uber. Because like there's been so many like harsh like stuff on the news like fake Uber drivers. Like, if you're an Uber, you're supposed to be like, "Hey, you're so and so." Like for example, if you're picking me up, you're like, "You're Payten Wright, right?" Stuff like that. And like there was so many people that like would fake as Ubers and pick up people. Like I don't like.
Yeah, that's major sketch right there. Yeah, I've heard about that before. And it's just like, I mean, it's kind of your fault for going into the car if you don't like ask questions right
Yeah.
off the bat. Because I'd be like asking questions like, "Hey, are you this person?"
Yeah,
Like,
where are we supposed to be going?
yeah, like, "Hey, who am I?" And if you don't know, I'm like, "Oh, have a nice day."
Yeah, but that's mainly like in bigger cities though. But still, like me and my mom almost ordered a Uber in Atlanta because we have family there. But I was like, no, like don't trust that.
I would never get in a taxi, an Uber, or anything in Atlanta. Of all places,
No.
never in Atlanta.
Like there's good parts in Atlanta, but like it's mostly bad. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of like Memphis, but like 10 times worse.
Yeah, it's Atlanta. You got Tupelo became a mini Memphis, to be honest.
Yeah, like on Gloucester Street, like I don't go there. I don't go to Front Street at night, like because Front Street is where I go to shoot basketball just for fun with Garrett Patterson and all them. But like I don't go at night because one time I went and like there was these group of like dudes and they were like catcalling and stuff like that, and like it's just miserable.
Yeah, no, that ain't for me. That and Ida Street, that's a sketchy place to go. Like the only time I go on Ida Street is probably in the morning,
Mhm.
and that's about it. When most of the people are gone, but no, you would never catch me on Ida Street going at night. Never, especially in like just in that area alone. It's no.
Yeah, and it's sad because like even at the mall, like I don't go to the mall at night by myself at least because I don't know if it was a couple of years ago where like there was a shooting. It was like a while back, but there was like a shooting like close to the mall.
Like I remember that time where it was like big on Facebook where this one cop was like trying to detain this one black kid, and like all their friends just gathered around and was like trying to protest or whatever. And I remember that. I was like, ooh, no, I don't think I need to be going there anymore.
Yeah, and everywhere you go is slowly becoming like really bad, honestly.
Yeah.
If you just like look at it, but just a couple days ago there was a girl shot in Oxford, Mississippi. Like,
Yeah. I
like
heard
shot
about that.
7 times and
Yeah.
found near Sardis. Like, and it turns out I think it was like her ex-boyfriend that did it, but still like people getting murdered, like
Yeah, and I was like, I think that she was pregnant at the time too. That's what I've heard.
oh yeah.
And I was like, and like it's why you want to kill anyone? Like, what's the point in it?
Um
Like, so many people have just lost their damn minds, like trying to like take someone else's life. That's just
yeah.
wow.
Did you remember it was in high school? I think it was my junior, it might have been it was junior year. I think it was homecoming week when after the Jason Aldean Las Vegas shooting, that guy posted on Facebook like you thought like Las Vegas was bad. Wait, Pontotoc, like
I know.
that was crazy.
Yeah, and I know exactly who it was.
Yeah,
too.
me too. I don't know him personally, but I knew of him.
I had one class with him back in junior high, and then that was about it. But yeah, I knew the dude that like threatened the school, and I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, during break and like lunch, during break I sat outside just in case, like I had to make a run for it, like honest to God, like. And then like that morning, like I really didn't know anything about it the day before, but that morning I walked in and I saw like 4 police officers in the like front, just in the front of the school, and I was like, what is going on? And I was like, anyways, like thank God nothing happened that day,
Yeah.
but like,
For real. And I know there was another guy that he broke up with his girlfriend, and he got like so pissed off that he was like, all right, I'm just gonna shoot up school because I'm just this depressed. And I was like, bro. And then like after that, he's like he got suspended, and I'm pretty sure he got some jail time for it. And then he got out, he was suspended. And then he went to alternative. I'm pretty sure he went through some like anger management classes too, and I think now he's okay. But yeah, he like every once in a while he'll like message me and be like, "Hey, you want to do some? Hey, I want to do a song with you." I'm like, "Nah,
yeah.
I'm not letting you in my house, dog."
Yeah, like school shootings have, like, especially with my mom, like working at the junior high, like she's a secretary, and like I worry because like people are taking inspiration from that stuff, like the Parkland shooting, Columbine. Like, I mean, people like actually like I was on Tumblr looking at memes, and like all of a sudden like something popped up like Columbine, and I was like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like too. There's too many people that have gone too brave with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yo, chill out, dog. You don't want it. Cause then if like even if you try to do it, there's only 2 ways that's gonna go. Either they're gonna kill you, or you're gonna spend your whole life in jail,
Yeah.
and you're gonna probably gonna get the death sentence for it. Like I've never seen someone that shot up a school either not dead or not in jail.
Yeah.
So there's your 2 options, dog. Which one you want to do?
I don't get, like, I was diagnosed with depression, and like I was depressed all through high school, but I never came to a point where like I wanted to like kill somebody. And I don't know, like it's a difficult topic because there's a lot of psychology to it that is just way over my head, but like, and I understand people not have, like the Parkland shooter, like he had like a rough childhood, and I think he was like living with people, like his parents like didn't want anything to do with him, so he had nobody to talk to, and he was also bullied in school. But so like a lot of them just turn to like the last resort, which isn't the great, but I mean, no excuse to it, but
No.
I think schools need to step up and do better. Like yesterday I was
Yeah.
at my mom's school, and there was like an anti-bullying poster, and I was like, that's not going to do anything. Like you have to interact with the kids and stuff.
Yeah, for real. What's a poster that gonna do?
Like seriously, it's like stand up, and like I stood up to a bully. Like one of my friends were getting bullied, and I stood up to him, and it turns out like I got targeted for it. And you know, it's like the school, yes, there's counselors, and like some of them are like really good, but like schools just need to crack down on that.
Yeah.
And if a student comes to you, like, what's his name? He killed himself at our school.
Keenan.
Keenan, like, you know, I did archery with him, and I knew him personally, and like he would talk to me about stuff, and I would, I'd be there for him. I was like, look, what do I need to do? But he'd brush it off, and you know, he actually, come to find out, he went to the school and they did nothing. Like that shit pisses me off, because like you have students every day like crying for help, yet like you do nothing because like, oh, it's high school, it'll get better, because it won't. Like you don't know what's going on in their life at home.
I mean, it was a rough week.
Oh, I cried.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, like that's crazy to me. Like that someone would just like someone that I knew personally that I've had
Yeah.
classes after classes with him, and it's just like, wow, man, like that's just rough.
Yeah, like for like a couple of days, I was like, wow, like I was thinking back, I was like, what could I have done like while I was in high school with him, cuz I was only in there for a year with him or two. But
Like it was rough on my class,
yeah.
cause I mean, yeah, it was. We had him forever, but I was in English class with him the year or the semester before he did it, and like it just blew my mind that he was like so happy he would do everything. Like every time someone like or the teacher asked someone to read, he was like, "I got you." Like he was like responsive to everything. He would
Yeah.
do everything for himself, and like I like grouped up with him like a couple times, and like he would be smiling, he'd be happy, laughing, whatever, and like I was like so confused when I heard the news because I was like, that's not him though.
Yeah,
Like
like
that's not him.
battling like depression, like I had clinical depression, which means like it's just an imbalance. Like there's different types, but like mine, it was just chemically imbalanced in my head. And battling depression like that, like when I went to school, I basically put on an act. I was like, I'm gonna be happy, so everybody else around me, because I care more about people around me that are happy than myself. And yeah, like depression is no joke. Like people are like, oh, you're just sad, like cheer up. Like, no, like that's not how it works. Like I had to be put on Prozac for like the longest. And like that, like if you don't get the proper help, then yeah, like that is going to go like down, because I actually like, I this is going to be deep for a minute, but I actually went to my mom. I was like, sometimes I think it's better off without me. Like you just have thoughts like that. Like they'll come out of the blue. And for him, like, I don't know what all happened. I don't know what all, like, I know he was bullied because, like, he said that in archery, but stuff like that can, like, just trigger and, like, you'll be done with it. And it's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad. And like there was like while we're taking English, like there was two incidents where he was gone for like 3 or 4 days. It happened two times. And at the time, like, we just thought he was sick. And then the first time it happened, this his grandfather came up to the school and was like, "Hey, have you seen Keenan?" We're like, "No." He was like, "Well, I dropped him off here, so he has to be somewhere here." He was like, "No, he's not here. He was not counting absent." Hang on. Hello? Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to. All right, then. All right, bye. This is the Madre. Making sure I'm up and not sleeping well all the time. But yeah. So he his grandfather came up to the school and was like, "Hey, have you seen him?" And we're like, "No." So for like the past 2 days or 3 days, he was like gone from school. Like there was nothing on the news about him.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, like that's kind of like real concerning. Like why are you missing? So he came back and acted like nothing happened, and we were kind of like, okay, this is weird. And like he didn't act like nothing was happening, but then he was like missing, and then it happened again like 2 months after, and he did the same thing, like nothing happened. He was just missing, and then when the break came through and Christmas break, I mean it was done.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
You never know like what's gonna happen. So if somebody does like come up to you and be like, look, this is what's going on. Don't brush it off like that. Because that's what happened to me. Like I went to one of my what I thought was like one of my best friends on the volleyball team. I went up to her and I was like telling her what happened and what's going on, and she's like, oh, you're just being sad or whatever. But no, like you need to take that stuff serious.
Like for a minute, like during the second semester of senior year, I was kind of like depressed just because one, it was cold as shit. I don't like cold weather at all, so that's one thing that triggers me. But like haven't hung out with any of my friends in like a really long time. Like I wasn't finding happiness in anything, and like I was struggling to like find a girlfriend for a long time, and I was like, I got like, what's the point? Like I just come here every day, I do the same shit, and then I go home and I do nothing. So I mean, like, I don't get it. And then summer came along, and like graduation was about to come through, and I was feeling a little bit more happy about everything. So, and then I get to go to the lake and whatever. So I mean, now I'm happy and whatever. But I mean, yeah, for a good minute there, I was like kind of just down, and I'd say I'm depressed, but
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, that was me for a minute, but I don't know.
Yeah, people take in general like mental health not as serious
Yeah, and
as they
it's
should.
dangerous.
Yeah, cuz like I like suffer with anxiety too. And so like in really social situations, like if it's crowded or something, like that's why I can't go like to the mall on the weekends or anything like movie premieres, because like I always like want to go to movie premieres, but I like can't because like social anxiety. Like it's not like it's just a crowd, I get like antsy and stuff. It's just awful. But
Yeah, I mean, to me, something like that, I just think it's just a lot of people. Like that's just me. I don't know how you think of it as, but like me, I just think it's just a lot of people, and I'm
yeah,
just one of the crowd.
yeah, I don't know. But what's weird is like I went to like New Orleans a week after Mardi Gras and was like just with everybody. I don't know. I think it's just in high stressful situations like um for example, like I think of the worst. Like, so like the movie theater shooting at the Batman premiere. Like, I think of that when it comes to mind. I was like, okay, like I gotta keep my eye open. Like, who's around? Like, it's awful, but that's what like it does. Like, you think of the worst.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, man, we've been going on for about an hour 30 minutes now.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, these go by quick if you don't like watch the time. But yeah, we've been on for an hour 30. Dang. I guess we can call it now.
Okay.
Sorry that we had to leave y'all on a depressing note, but I mean, hell,
Just stay safe.
stay safe. Stay safe. And remember, just read those conspiracies.
Oh yes.
But yeah, I think we're going to call it here today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for possibly watching. But yeah, we're going to call it here. Thank you for everything, and goodbye.